Hello and welcome to Hands on Art. My name is Sandy and I am here with my succulent friends to introduce our project today. We are going to be learning a little bit about succulents and cactus. They are desert plants that store water in their leaves, or cacti don't have leaves. They have spines, but they store water in their stem. And they're very popular right now. They make beautiful arrangements. And we thought it would be fun to draw them. So we are going to do something like this. We're going to learn to draw pots, and then you're going to decide what kind of cactus or succulent to plant in it. For our supplies today, we're going simple, just in case we need to do it at home. We need a piece of paper. If you have cardstock, that's better, but if you don't, copier paper will do just fine. We need a pencil, an eraser, perhaps a sharpener, a Sharpie, or even better, a flare pen for our outlines. And then we need something to color with. So whatever you have, if you have markers, that'll work. Colored pencils are really nice. If I was queen for a day, I would say, let's do it in watercolor. But then you would need also watercolors, watercolor paper, a brush, and water. So let's act like we're going to do it with simple supplies, and if you can upgrade, that's fantastic. Kids, today we're going to turn our paper horizontal, so it's the wide way, and get some room here. I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm going to make a lightly curved line about just a little below halfway down and in the middle. And then I'm going to make one on either side of it that's about the same size. They don't have to be exact, but about. Now, one good thing to tell the kids today is to not push too hard with your pencil. So I am going to push a little harder than I recommend because I want everybody to be able to see it. So what we're doing is we're going to make a pot, kind of like this one. If you come down a little ways on the sides of our curved line, we've kind of making that lip on the pot. And then we're going to make a curved line that pretty much matches the one above it. So just a nice gentle curve. Doing them all at once. So I'll start with the one in the middle again, and I'm going to come in just a tiny bit from the edges because our pot steps in just a little bit here. And I'm going to come down like that. And now here I want to stop just for a minute because it's so tempting to draw what we know. And what we need to do as an artist is to draw what we see, and it's not always the same. So we know that our table is flat, and we know that our bottom of our pot is flat, but when I draw a pot, I want to draw it rounded. The edge. So when we do the bottom of our pot, it'll look more realistic if we make it rounded. Now keep in mind, anytime you need to catch up, you can pause the video and catch up. Now we have some decisions to make, right? So we have so many kinds of cactus and so many kinds of succulents. Here I have some pages. I put numbers on them in case you want to talk about, we're going to do number 13 or whatever. So I think for me, I want to try this one, but I'm not going to make it so complicated. My plant that I make right now is going to not have quite so many things going on, but I'm going to go just slightly above the pot, and I'm going to make kind of an oval like that. And then he's going to have all sorts of little extra growths on him like this. now I have some lines I need to erase. And I'm going to encourage you to erase them as you go, because otherwise it's easy to forget you don't want them. So here we go. See, when we erase them, now these look like they're attached to our cactus. They don't look like separate things. Okay, now you don't have to make the same kind of cactus as I do. I should have said that before, but you can pick which one makes you happy and that you want to show. So, but I kind of recommend doing 3 different ones because it'll be more interesting and it'll give you a chance to try different things. So for my middle one, I want to try a succulent, maybe kind of like this one that has some fat leaves. And to do that, I'm going to start up maybe right in here. And I'm going to do one little teardrop. And I'm just going to make more of those. And they kind of, one goes one way, one goes another way, just a little bit. There we go, one, and they get a little bigger. That's something that we know in nature, is that at the tips of a plant, the leaves and the branches tend to get smaller, right? So if you look at a tree, the bottom is the trunk, and then as it goes up, the branches get smaller and smaller, and brand new leaves are smaller than older leaves that have, been growing for a while. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I'm going to make this one come down like that. And it's going to go all different ways. I kind of like it if it comes down over the edge of the pot, if it can. And all right, so that our pot's a little more full. And I just keep making the same shape. It's almost like, I don't know, a pointy jelly bean or something. And sometimes these things have little flowers, so I just feel like putting a little stem up with a hanging flower. That just seems fun. So there's my stem, and here's my bud. It's not going to be an open flower, it's just going to be a little bud that I'm going to show here. Okay. Now let's do one more. I think I just want to go for one of these barrel cactus. So to do that, I'm just going to make a nice big kind of oval. When I get to the edge of the pot, I stop. And now these guys all have stickers or grooves. This one's similar too, that come down. So to do that, I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to put a little dot. And from that dot, I'm going to come out and I'm going to kind of match the curve of the edge. And I'm going to match the curve of the edge on the other side. And then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. In the middle, I might kind of almost go straight up and down. Now, because I didn't go all the way to the top, I'm just going to fill in a couple little lines. Okay, what do you think of that guy? He's pretty cute. If we wanted, sometimes these cactus have a flower. So I kind of think a flower's fun to put on here. What do you guys think? We'll have him kind of stick up like this. I'm just making spikes. And maybe I'll make another row kind of behind it like that. And now I'm going to get in here and I'm going to remove the lines I don't want, because if there's a flower there, I wouldn't see the back of the cactus, would I? It would block it. So we need to finish our pots, right? Right now they're just a little front piece. And I want to remind us, no corners on this pot, remember? So when I finish, I'm going to make this like an oval. And when I get to my cactus or my plant, I'm going to stop. I'm going to come out and I'm going to stop. Okay? So let's do this one. I'm going to come out like an oval, and I'm going to stop here. Oh, it stops very quickly. And look, I forgot to erase these before. So I'm going to get in here and erase where my leaves went over the edge of the pot, because now I wouldn't see the edge of the pot, I'd see the leaf. That looks better, doesn't it? A little more realistic. Okay, and this big cactus, oh, that's going to be quick and easy. Look how quick I finished that one off. Now for this one, I might actually see some dirt in there, don't you think? So I'm going to make a little dirt in front of our plant. And this is funny, but I'm going to put a little dirt behind the plant. Now, of course, there's dirt all around it, but that kind of makes it look like it's growing out of the dirt. And I like that. Now, our pots are a little bit floating. Do you see they just sort of float in the air? And I want them to sit on a shelf or a table. So I'm going to take my extra paper. I'm going to go about, if I broke this into 3 pieces, I'm going to go about a third of the way up. I'm going to go below the edge of my pot lips. And watch, I'm going to draw a straight line right to the edge of the pot, but not on top. And then I'm going to come and go between the pots. And here I'll go between the pots, but I'll stop when I get to the pot edge. And here I'll go and I'll stop. And now look, all of a sudden that one line made us a shelf or a table. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put Sharpie. We're just going to go right on top of our pencil lines with our Sharpie. I'm going to pause my video and we'll come back when we're done. Now the next step is to erase the pencil lines that we can see. Now let's add a little bit of detail to our cactus. So our prickly pear needs some spines, and I find the best way to do it is you make a little dot and you flick, and you make a little dot and you flick, like that. So you make a little dot and you flick. There we go, that pen is better. You can have 2 little spines or 3. And don't forget, they can go off the edges. Okay, there we go. That's how you make spines like that. And for our barrel cactus, we can have our spines, if we want, we can have them follow the stripes of the groove kind of things. So I'm just going to put my pen down along the line and let it flick to the left and flick to the right a little bit. Now, if you'd like to, you can decorate your pots. You can do anything you want. Polka dots, stripes, a southwestern theme, whatever makes you happy. Okay, now while I've got my black pen or Sharpie, I'm just going to sign my name at the bottom. Small, this isn't, paper to turn in, it's signing our artwork like an artist. And then I put a little 21 because that's the year. All right, on to the coloring. Okay, now you can color this however you want, but I just want to point out that cactus and succulents come in so many pretty colors. So I know we think green when we think cactus, but look, we've got red and yellow. The flowers can be pink and purple and yellow. And here our prickly pear has these fruits that look reddish pink. Just because it's a succulent doesn't mean you have to just do green. And notice when I color in, I don't just color all over. I try to color in the shape of what I'm coloring. So because these leaves are a little rounded, I'm coloring in a rounded way. you know, like for this cactus, maybe I'm gonna make it all green, but maybe I'll use a lighter green and then a darker green to create some shading or some grooves. And maybe I'll add some yellow in with my green for my prickly pear cactus. And I'll let you go to it. And really that's it. Once you are done coloring, you are done with this project. So thank you so much for joining me today. I know I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And keep doing art. Have an art-filled week. Bye.